What is up, guys? It is Chico from QuadHunting, and today we're going to talk a little bit about the Packers and Lions game upcoming week 17. Last week I had the gameplay going while I was talking, and this week I'm going to do the same thing. I'm starting it off this way. I'm actually going to record my whole spiel and then put gameplay over it instead. That way I can keep things more on track and talk about things the way I want to talk about them and when I want to talk about them. So, it's week 17. Lions are out of the playoffs. Packers are out of the playoffs. Aaron Rodgers has already been put back on IR, and then there's that whole mess of the NFL talking about, with teams complaining to the NFL that they should have to cut him. It's not going to happen, but that was that whole mess going on there. So Jim Caldwell's already come out and said Matthew Stafford will not be sitting. I would not expect very many starters to be sitting in this game, as they all will be playing kind of to impress. If there's a new coaching staff coming in, they'll be all coming in more to impress them and impress Bob Quinn, especially the GM, to make sure that they keep their spots on the team. So I don't foresee any benching, anyone wanting not to play. I believe this will be a very, very telling game to see if the team is behind Caldwell's, because if they come out and destroy the Packers, they're playing for Caldwell's job, because that's the only thing left to play for this season is Jim Caldwell's coaching job. If they come out and play like crap, you gotta wonder a little bit if they haven't given up on Caldwell as well. I don't know if they have or not. It's what a lot of media outlets are reporting. So, be interesting to see. I am not one of the fans that will be cheering for a loss. I am cheering for a win. I want the Lions to win this game. I never wanted the team to lose. I know a loss gets a better draft pick and it could be better for the future, but that just feels more like giving up to me, and I don't like that feeling. So I hope the Lions do come out and they do win against the Packers, because it'd be the first time in a long time that they've swept the Packers. I don't even know the last time. I don't have it up or anything. I'm trying to not look at the computer screen as much and stay there. So it'll be like, if sweeping the Packers, like I said last week, or I said earlier this week when I did the Bengals recap video, the Lions will be 5-1 in the division, only losing to the Vikings one game. So if they can come out of this season 5-1 in the division, that's hopeful for the future. Because if you look at the future, the Vikings have 3 quarterbacks right now, all have expiring contracts. They got to figure out which one they want to keep. So that could be an issue there. Is Case Keenum going to cash in on a huge contract? Is it going to be with the Vikings? Is he going to be able to continue this? How is he going to be able to make this success he's had this season go longer? This is the first time that he's blown up like this. Is this a one-year thing, or can he consistently do this? The Packers have to worry about Aaron Rodgers getting older and older and all those issues that they have coming up. They have a bad defense. They're kind of like the Lions, not really much defense. Behind their quarterback, they don't really have much. So they have those questions. And then the Bears, is Mitch Trubisky going to be their franchise quarterback? I personally like Trubisky. I actually think he could be a decent quarterback. For the most part, I've liked how he's looked this season. I know he's had like against the Lions the last game, he had a really bad game, but I think he could still be molded. You know, Wentz and Goff, they didn't have Goff. I think it's Goff. Didn't have great seasons last year in their rookie seasons, and this year they came out and exploded. The The Rams and then the Eagles are both killing it this year, and Eagles, especially before Wentz went out, that just shows you how much more valuable he is. So he could make that jump next year, I believe, in Trubisky, and which kind of scares me as a Lions fan. So you have all those teams that have all these questions. The Bears are probably firing John Fox. They'd be stupid not to at this point, how he's had no success unless his quarterback has been Peyton Manning. And so what's going to happen there is you have no idea. The North right now is just in this turmoil period, and it hasn't been this crazy in the North. Like, all 4 teams have big question marks. Do the Lions keep Caldwell? Can Trubisky actually lead the Bears? Is Aaron Rodgers going to be able to come back next season and play healthy, or is he starting to hit that regression phase of Father Time and all that deal? And which quarterback are the Vikings going to keep? Because all 3 of them are hitting their open market this season. So a lot of questions in the NFC North, and I don't remember there being this many questions, big question marks, especially for each team. So yeah, I kind of rambled about the NFC North. I do believe next year it could be wide open again. Not so hopeful. I mean, the Lions have pieces, but as long as Aaron Rodgers is there, I don't believe the Lions will have to fight. They'll never be given the North, especially that Vikings defense and the Bears if they continue to make good steps. And then there's always the Packers. Right now, if I had to say, I believe the Lions next year will stay like stock neutral. They'll stay right at about where they are now. The Vikings are, just because they hit so high this year, I think they're looking at a little bit of a down year next year. Maybe not as good as they did this year, but I don't think they're going to be like a 4-12, nothing like that. I believe they can be more. They'll be more in that 9-7 range next year with, just all the question marks, and because we're so early, we're at the end of this season talking about next season. So I believe the Bears are going stock up. They look like they could be a good team next year, and I believe the Packers could be a stock neutral as well. I believe right now the parity in the NFC North is all starting to hit that middle line. So they're all starting to even up. Like, it used to be Packers were here, Lions were here, Vikings were in that area, and then the Bears were down here. I believe all those are starting to, the Packers coming down, the Bears coming up. I believe they're all going to kind of start hitting in that same middle range. So, but as long as Rodgers is with the Packers, I won't believe in him regressing. I believe that even though I don't like him, Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback right now in the NFC North. Debatable in the entire NFL. So, sorry, notifications about the Pistons sucking tonight. So, the Lions this weekend, like I said, this will tell if the team's given up on Caldwell, how they come out. I hope they don't. My issue is who do you replace Caldwell with? And I know a lot of fans are saying the Patriots offense coordinator, defense coordinator, Josh McDaniels or whatever his name is, the defense coordinator for the Patriots. We've already saw what Josh McDaniels can do to one team. He destroyed the Denver Broncos. And then their defensive coordinator is totally unproven. I'm not a huge fan of these totally unprovens. Yes, I know I'm kind of more of one of those, the devil you know versus the devil you don't know. But like I said last week, I don't know if Caldwell can hit that spot. I don't know if he can get us. He's gotten us to where we're competitive every week, almost every week, where our name is in the discussion for wins and stuff, but we're not at the point where we're getting to the playoffs and getting all these wins with Caldwell. I don't think I don't know if he's the coach that can take us to that step where, Jim Schwartz, like I said last week, took us out of the hole that we were buried in, and then Caldwell's kind of pushed us out of that hole and gotten us running on a flat surface. I don't know if he's the one that's going to help us take flight. So that's a good analogy. Matt Millen buried us. Schwartz helped dig us out. Caldwell got us up and running. But we need to find the coach that's going to help us take flight and get us way up there and figure out how exactly we're going to be good next year. So I don't really know what to think about this game. Brett Hundley starting for the Packers. Maybe he gets this Matt Flynn game and the Lions get him a huge paycheck. Or give the Packers a bunch of draft picks because he has a great game and some team wants to trade for him. There's stupid teams in the NFL that'll happen. The Browns could go 0-16. As a Lions fan, part of me wants them to, so Lions aren't the only ones. But the other part of me is like, it's painful? No. So, it'd be nice for somebody else to not talk about the Lions in 0-16 and talk about the Browns in 0-16. But as a Lions fan to Browns fans, I hope not. I hope you guys can pull out this win. You're already getting the number 1 draft pick, so get this win. Looking injury report I looked at earlier, looks real bad for Swanson. I don't know about his career moving forward. He practiced yesterday and then had a setback, it looks like, with his concussion, and he is not practiced today, Thursday, the 28th. He did not practice today, so I don't know. That's not a good look for him. I don't want to say it's not a good look for him because concussions are a serious thing and you don't want to take them lightly, but it's not a good thing that he's taken a step back. I don't know how well that bodes for his career and if he's going to be able to overcome that. So it would be interesting to see because right now it means Graham Glasgow is going to be playing center again, and he played really well last week, and he's been getting better and better every week of the season. And it looks like he is going to be our starting center next year, which means left guard could possibly be Joe Dahl. I believe they'll bring someone in to fight for that spot. I'm going to go more in depth after the Packers game, position by position, talk about who did well. And I don't know exactly how I'll be doing it with offensive line. I hate trying to talk about offensive line because it's not something I know a lot of. So we're going to look at the basically stats, a lot of stats. I have a whole list open right now on the computer, actually, of contracts and who could potentially be cut. Players I think are going to get cut. We'll look more into free agency as free agency gets closer. We'll look more in the draft as the draft gets closer. But this is kind of really, we're going to talk about what it would cost to cut some players and what it would save us if we cut others. And I just realized I'm slouching really hard. So that's coming up. Maybe I'll actually be able to finish go position by position on needs this year like I wanted to do last year. So yeah, I got some stuff lined up, especially with the end of the season coming up. Yeah, so Packers Lions, what do I think? I think it'll be, I'm going to say Stafford balls out, just goes crazy. And it's going to be something like 35-17. I so wish that could be that would happen. If I'm realistically looking at it, I'm seeing more of a 27-20 score, somewhere along in there. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a big blowout game. I wish it would be. I hope it will be, but it doesn't look like it. So that's my prediction, a 27-20, 27-17 kind of game. So yeah, we'll talk about contracts here in the next couple of weeks. We'll talk about season overall. I'm going to give season grades for every player. And every player. Anyone who's taken a snap. Anyone who's finished the season, I'll rephrase. Anyone who's finished the season with the Lions will get a grade. And yeah. So if you like the video, go ahead and leave a like. Hit that subscribe button right beside that like button. And then leave some comments down below. What do you think about the Packers coming up? Do you want the Lions to lose? Do you want them to try to get a better draft pick? We could get as high as 13th pick this weekend if we lose and some other teams win. Or we can sit about right where we are, which I believe is the 18th pick. So I think the lowest we can go is 20. So anywhere between 13 and 20, I believe, is what I read, that we could fall anywhere in between there. So if you're one of those people who wants the higher draft pick and wants to be able to draft a potentially better player, let me know that down below. And then let me know who you guys are interested in having draft profiles done on. Who are you looking at as a potential future Lions player? Leave that down below. Free agents as well. I will then get those players, and then I will figure out who. I will start going through and I'll do my research and say if I believe they should or shouldn't come to the Lions. So leave those down below. Like button, subscribe button, comments, and I will see you guys all next time.